thinking at light speed.
What is the future of warfare going to be? It seems like it's very clearly going to be based on autonomy, which is AI, right? How have societies like ours fought wars in the past? We send a tremendous number of soldiers into battle, and they get killed, right? Right, and you're going to have everything from fighter jets to submarines and everything else, tanks that are unmanned. And obviously, it's far better to send in unmanned systems than it is to send in pilots and seamen and so forth who are going to get killed. The Las Vegas PD now has the ability to put an unarmed drone with a high-resolution camera on site at any 911 location of any 911 call, any burglary alarm, or any gunshot. In Las Vegas, they're able to put a drone on site in 90 seconds. October 7th, Israel had a technologically powered defensive line, between Israel and Gaza that broke down. If you have technological superiority on the battlefield in Ukraine, it means that you have these first-person drones and you've got these, automated piloting systems, and you are dropping in, on top of the tank. The tank costs millions of dollars to build. You drop a $300, drone with some Semtex in it, blow up the tank. It's a great illustration when to be on the side of technology. One lesson from that is technology by itself won't save you. The other answer to that is that the technology needs to get a lot better, right? And they're in retrospect now that there's like the next time something like that happens, God forbid, there ought to be a nationwide drone response system that's able to put an armed response, an armed AI automated response under human control, but like within seconds.
Paul Virilio was one of the most radical thinkers of the 20th century, authoring over 30 books on speed, warfare, politics, and technology, and his work can be said to anticipate everything from COVID to corporate surveillance, pod life, to the increasing reliance on technical prosthesis such as Neuralink. According to Virilio, politically correct society is criminally in denial, and science itself is on the verge of a systematic crash of going into a philosophical coma. Virilio believed that the means of military mobilization was a primary driver of politics, society, and culture, often invoking Sun Tzu, who asserted that speed is the essence of war. This thus places the doctrine of techno-scientific progress and increasingly scientific research at the very bleeding edge of human conflict. In emancipating itself from politics, faith in progress has entered the field of pure strategy, the pure strategy of the nuclear status quo. So while Andreessen claims there is no material problem that cannot be solved by technology, Virilio might answer that there is no technology without a possible military application. Therefore, the cultivation of preventative intelligence should be our highest priority, not promoting techno-optimism. Virilio's early work on speed, politics, and military defense gave him a keen awareness of technology's destructive potential, particularly with respect to accidents. While progress in technology is inevitable, Virilio came to believe that an analysis of the industrial accident ought to be seen as a logical art. His often cited formula is, to invent the sailing ship or steamer is to invent the shipwreck. To invent the train is to invent the real accident of derailment. Therefore, the accident was actually a form of invention hiding inside technical progress. Thus, each period of technical evolution, with its sets of instruments and machines, involves the appearance of specific accidents, revealing in negative the growth of scientific thought. As a consequence, progress involves creating idiosyncratic, never-before-seen accidents whose potential was manifested at the exact same time the technology came into being, and with so-called original accidents, littering the register of progress from the Titanic and the Hindenburg to 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, Fukushima, the Challenger explosion, COVID, and so on. The accelerative production of accidents poses the greatest threat in that they increasingly implicate everyone around the world at exactly the same time. With the increasing ubiquity, interconnectivity, and instantaneity of technology, events such as a pandemic, stock market crash, or a new kind of technical progress accident could perhaps come to wipe out the entire species as a consequence of overextending our development. While some techno-optimists, including Andreessen, denounce this as pessimism and dismiss it by invoking psychoanalysis, Virilio both anticipates this and rejects it in full. It has been claimed that psychoanalysis does not resolve problems but merely displaces them. We might say the same of technical and industrial progress. The power of the ideology of progress, like that of any ideology, consists of covering up the questions that could raise doubts in its current form. If we don't first expose the nature of catastrophe and at least try to account for the problem, a fully integrated technical progress accident may be the inevitable result, the point that techno-optimists work to systematically deny. Andreessen, on the weight of technology, science, and progress, believes that the future is bright. Virilio asserts, at the speed of light, we can neither see the weapon arrive nor fend off the attack. Virilio nevertheless holds out a certain hope. Behind every accident, behind every catastrophe, there is an enormous hope for a new wisdom.